you know what old Jack Burton always says at a time like this?
Come on, then. I'll bite your legs off!
I can take great power. Comes great responsibility. We have a hope.
Get to the chopper! And leave. Does the flesh move?
I am the father.
And we are back for the 21st episode of the SludgeCast, our main show here. Of course, it's Sludge here and my co-host Micah.
How's it going?
We are here to talk about everything pop culture today. So we're going to run through a quick little bit of a news segment, and then after we do a news segment, we're going to jump into our first of two topics tonight. First topic going to be Pokemon. Micah, you've brought this up to me.
Been picking at him for a long time.
For a while for this. And I don't know why I haven't, because Pokemon is huge. I mean, it's one of the biggest pop culture everything out there. I mean, video games, the whole nine, comic books, toys, you name it. So we're going to jump into Pokemon, the history of Pokemon. And then, of course, we'll jump into a song. We've got a very special song for you that I'm stoked about this episode. Very, very, very stoked about. And then, of course, our second topic tonight was actually going to be Mortal Kombat. There's a lot of big stuff happening.
Yes.
Not only the new game, but also the new movie that actually has recently filled a pretty good amount of its cast. We found Liu Kang, Raiden's been cast, Sub-Zero's been cast. I think Melina has been cast as well for the movie, so it's going to be pretty sweet, and we'll talk about it a little bit in that section. So, but well, no further ado, let's jump into it. Some quick news pieces, because now this, of course, is pre-recorded episodes.
Right.
So, so it's Tuesday, but you guys get to hear it Saturday. Some big things came out in the news today. First, because it was great news, the Wachowski sisters now, Hollywood is weird, did announce that, anyways, officially, that Matrix 4 is on its way.
It's about time.
Oh, yes. And, I mean, as long as it's better than the second two, it's going to be amazing. Because that first one was just so good of a
iconic.
movie. Yeah. I love it. So I'm pretty pumped, especially considering the fact that she has verified Keanu Reeves, or they have verified Keanu Reeves is coming back as Neo.
Oh, I wouldn't watch it if he hadn't.
There's no way to do it. You know what I mean? So, but I wonder too, though, like, so what role after the last one after Revelations? What role is Neo going to play? Are they going to stay within the Matrix world, or are they going to go out into the real world some? I'm interested to see where they go. Yeah, I think it'd be pretty sweet. Because Neo pretty much has the power of the machines anyways. Yeah. So that'll be really, really, really cool. Another cool bit of news is they released footage for the Marvel's Avengers game. Yeah. This looks awesome.
Oh, it looks fantastic, man.
Marvel has always had good games.
No, they haven't.
Okay, no, that's true. So
the only
I'm trying
good
to
one has been Spider-Man.
Spider-Man was amazing. I mean, that's the best-selling superhero game of all time at this point.
Eat your heart out, Batman.
Oh, definitely. But when I look at the games, when I go back and forth recently,
right?
Like the Arkham trilogy, to me was really hard to top for anything Marvel had. So it's absolutely amazing. And Avengers looks top notch,
stellar.
Yeah. We were watching Black Widow and Taskmaster fighting, which is really cool that they released that because they finally announced Taskmaster is going to be the villain in the Black Widow movie. Yeah. Which is awesome, but stinks too because I've been trying to get my hands on the first Taskmaster and Spider-Man.
Good luck.
Yeah, now that's just shot through the roof price wise. So oh well, I'll get it one day. But the game looks great. It comes out May what?
I think May 15th, 2020.
May 15th, 2020. Yeah. So definitely, if you guys have not seen the footage for it yet, go check out the footage. This is going to be, it's going to be an awesome game. And have they released a list of what all characters Avengers we will be able to play?
There's, I think, 2 gameplay trailers. We watched one with Black Widow and Taskmaster, but it also has one with Hulk fighting Abomination.
Oh, dude. And that's the fight.
Oh, yeah. It has Thor and Iron Man and Cap in that trailer as well.
Okay, awesome. Because I like to see because I don't know what all characters are going to have playable in it, but I cannot wait to find out. That's
all I know of right now.
Yeah, so it'll be sweet. Plus, Avengers is still a pretty hot thing right now. Not so much a spoiler, but some inside information possibly. Sources that were correct about Taskmaster being, the villain Black Widow before it was released,
Right.
and certain sources that were right about a lot of things Marvel have stated that, and then the rumor's been running around, if anybody's heard, Phase 6 will include an Avengers versus X-Men film. So just to tickle your all's fancy,
It's about
because
time.
dude, that'll be so good. Because they've pretty much all but confirmed Wolverine's coming back. We probably won't get Hugh Jackman, obviously.
No, I'm gonna say Jason Momoa.
Man, Jason Momoa would be awesome as Wolverine, but I almost think he's too big to be Wolverine.
I mean, yeah, him or Keanu, I think.
I think Keanu would make a really good one, but honestly, I would like to see, what is his name? Because I'd like to see
Tom Hardy.
Dude, Tom Hardy would be that's the Wolverine. Like Tom Hardy is perfect.
Yeah.
But they want to go with somebody maybe a little bit younger. Egerton.
Oh yeah,
would be awesome. You know what I mean? Like
I couldn't think of his name, but I had his picture in my head.
he could get that scruffy look because he was great in Robin Hood. I mean, he's got the skill of a fighter. He would have to definitely put some weight on or some more muscle on, I think.
He's already pretty.
He is, but I think for Wolverine, you would just want him just a little bit bigger, almost like Channing Tatum size.
Yeah.
But Egerton's a 10 times better actor. You know what I mean? But I mean, he's on fire right now, and he's younger, and I think he could carry the role for a longer time.
He's one of my top 3 favorite up and coming actors.
Oh, dude, I've not seen anything that he's done that I don't like.
Oh yeah.
So I think he would be really good. I think if people would give him the chance, he would be an amazing Wolverine.
Oh, absolutely.
Plus, you would be able to have an extended length of films with him because I mean, when you got Hardy right now, Hardy's Venom, but I mean Hardy, of course, with his age, and same thing with Hugh Jackman. It only going to be able to go for so long.
We're in the Tom Holland era right now, where everybody's got to be younger.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
So that way you can carry the franchise.
Yeah, so I think Egerton would be a really cool choice.
Who is actually number 2 on my favorite rising acters, Tom Holland.
Tom Holland's he's awesome. He is a good actor. So hopefully Phase 6 coming up, we will get. We'll get Avengers vs. X-Men, which is going to be absolutely epic. Because I would love to see Scarlet Witch go against Jean Grey.
Oh,
just
dude,
saying, like that would be the
Big
battle
time.
to watch. All right, so then we got one more piece of news that is frustrating to say the least. The news did drop today, of course, for those that pay attention, which is pretty much everybody who probably listens to this show. The deal between Marvel and Disney and Sony for Spider-Man has finally came to renewal status. And it hit the news today that as of this moment, that renewal is not happening.
Yeah.
People freaked out. They're like, "Oh no, it's canceled." Which I mean, I had so many people call me today and message me, asking me about it. I'm like, "Look, I mean, it's not happening at the moment,
Right.
You know what I mean? So technically, Spider-Man is out of the MCU, which is the dumbest move ever.
Yeah.
But it's going to happen. Like they're going to renegotiate.
Hopefully, by the time you guys listen to this, it'll.
Hopefully, yes. The renegotiations at the table. Because Disney and Marvel came to Sony to the table and said, we want 50-50. And Sony, of course, was like, no, not happening.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I will say that Sony could not have expected Disney to want the original deal. The original deal was 5% for the first dollar sales.
They're both kind of dumb on both sides on that.
Yeah, like that's not going to work, And 50-50 makes no sense when Disney's not co-financing 50% of the film.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just stupid for them to like,
That's Disney. What are you going to do?
Yeah, like we'll co-finance 25%, but we want 50% of the profits.
Yeah.
Like, no, not happening. But it's definitely a scenario where I think Sony is brave enough at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
Because the new Spider-Man films would not be as popular if it wasn't for Kevin and Marvel.
Yeah.
They're making it what it is, but in the same token, Sony owns the rights. Mm-hmm. So Sony knows they can play ball a little bit here, especially now that Far From Home broke $1 billion. Highest grossing.
Yes.
Something finally beat Spider-Man 2.
Yes.
Which I love Spider-Man 2, but Far From Home was such an amazing film. So good. But so they'll come back to the table. As it stands, of us recording this, the news broke today. The deal's not been renewed. Spider-Man's out of the MCU. Sony has all full rights. But like I told everybody earlier this afternoon, give it time. They'll renegotiate. They have to. Marvel has to have Tom for the next phase.
Absolutely.
And they know that. And Sony knows that. Mm-hmm. That's why Sony's want to pull for a better deal.
Yeah.
But I think actually literally 15 minutes before we started recording this, maybe half an hour before we started recording this, news article was updated stating that somebody from Sony has said they're still in negotiations.
Oh, yeah.
So Give it time. They'll work a deal out. They have to. I mean, Sony can go on ultimately without the MCU,
but they won't last.
Yeah, well, yeah, hopefully they will. But I mean, if they don't, their track record says it won't last. Sony can go on without the MCU. The MCU can, but will struggle way worse if they don't have Spider-Man. So,
because you built this around him.
Oh,
in a way, yeah.
Every bit of it. I mean, he's the new. You've got the three biggest part of the new Avengers is going to be Captain Marvel, Black Panther, and Spider-Man. So they've got to have him. Got to have him. So we'll see how it goes. Who knows? Actually, we know they're going to work out a deal. I mean, it's going to happen.
Disney ended up getting 6%.
So something. I'm guessing. I'm gonna go with like more of a. I think Sony will end up because I don't think they'll keep pushing the issue to the point to where Disney finally says, "Okay, well, we are Disney. Don't need you." You know, Sony would be stupid not to take Disney and Marvel's partnership on this. But I don't think they're dumb enough to push that far. No. I mean, if Disney comes back, with the 70-30 or 65-35, that's probably something Sony will go for. I mean, depending on how much co-financing Disney will do, I think will be a big part of it.
Really. Oh, absolutely.
Because I mean, Kevin, when it comes to yes, Kevin executive produced and did a lot with the new Spider-Man films, but Kevin's done a lot of other stuff for Sony too. Yeah, that he's not credited for. So. They need Kevin.
They like working with him. He likes working with them.
It's a good relationship. They just need to get the dollars right, and they'll be good to go. So, all right. So that's it news-wise. I can't think of anything else new that's super important to drop.
I mean, that was pretty much the most important thing.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So, I mean, Mortal Kombat, most of the cast is there. Oh, some little bit of fun tidbit is because we got the new It movie coming out next month, which is going to be crazy good and scary. Andrew Machete, or how you pronounce his last name, did state today in a news article, read that he is actually working on a, what do you call it? It's pretty much a full cut. So part 1 and part 2 all together, one film.
Oh my gosh.
Which would be awesome for them to release that as a special version of it. Because it won't be one that they'll release theatrically.
No.
They're talking about, they're like, okay, we'll get part 2 out on DVD, but then doing a special edition that's the full beginning to end, almost 4-hour cut of the film, which, I mean, that would be the version I'd get completely. So. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into our first topic, which is going to be Pokemon, those awesome little pocket monsters. So, of course, now Pokemon came from Japan because pretty much all cool things pop culture related come from Japan. I mean, Godzilla, and that's all that needs to be said. Then, of course, Nintendo and everything. But Pokemon came out in Japan actually as Pocket Monsters. It got the Pokemon name. A lot of people are like, oh, that's what they named it when it came over here. Well, it was called the Pokemon Company. The company that created, the license for Pocket Monsters was that. But when they brought it over here, they were called Pokemon. The characters are called Pokemon. And the games are just, called Pocket Monsters when you go over there. So it actually came out in 1995 is when this first hit.
Right.
Here we are, 24 years later?
Yeah.
24 years later, and it's huge.
Yeah.
It's not, I mean, it's way more than it was 2 Game Boy games. I mean, in Japan, it was actually red and green. And then when we came to the stateside, it was red and blue. Yeah. And then, of course, they ended up releasing Leaf Green, and then you got the yellow, you got the yellow first, then they did it green later, then Crystal, and blah, blah, blah. But it started as just a Game Boy game that just went rampant.
Blew up.
Rampant.
Yeah.
So it went from that to a very successful anime series, a manga series, which, I mean, everyone remembers that theme song, Gotta Catch 'Em All. I can't sing, sorry guys, but I mean, now it's stuck in your head, and I'm glad you have that. So, because everybody knows it. My kids will run around singing that song, and Pokemon's not even on TV.
Oh, yeah.
And the series has been running since like 96, I think, or something like that. And it's not stopped. I mean, pretty much with every game that's come out, because they've released newer series of games in the new regions, in the Pokemon world. You've got a cartoon show that's coming right around the corner, and with it. And then they've had actual theatrical films. Remember that first Pokemon movie? Gosh. Dude, I loved it. Like, I remember going and seeing it, and then, what was it, Pokemon 2000 was the second one?
I think so.
Dude, I remember going seeing both of those in theaters.
Oh, yeah.
It was awesome. It was the coolest thing to do is, a 15-year-old teenage high school boy. He's like, I'm going to see Pokemon.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't made fun of all for that. But then, of course, it became a card game.
Yeah.
Man, now I remember getting the card game when it came out, and dude, I flipped. Like me and all my buddies, Tommy, John Michael, Sean, we would be in school supposed to be doing our work, but we'd be in the back playing Pokemon.
Oh, yeah.
Teachers like, put the cards up. We're like, no, not happening. Like, sorry.
Pokemon time.
We're in the middle of a Poke Battle. You're going to forget about it. Somebody went into, and that card game is still hugely successful today. If I'm not mistaken, it's still the second highest selling trading card game currently below Magic, because Magic Gatherings.
Yeah.
I mean, since Magic Gatherings has been number one, it's always going to be number one. Yeah. But Pokemon's still number two right underneath it. I mean, I know in our area, we've got 3 different store locations in our area that do Pokemon tournaments. Oh, yeah. My daughter's a Pokemon League member when it comes to the game. She's got her own cool little card. Then it just went from that to, different, to comic books, to plush toys, to toys, to... I mean, you go get Pokemon blankets and Pokemon. Hey, I got a Pikachu shirt, man. I love my Pikachu shirt. Of course, now Pikachu being arguably the most famous of all Pokemon.
There's no argument. He is. Yeah.
I mean, not my favorite, but the most famous. Obviously, because we just got a movie too, Detective Pikachu, which just recently came out. Which I loved that movie. Did you like it, dude? It's so good. If those of you guys have seen it, man, Detective Pikachu was. It was
anything
awesome.
with Ken Watanabe is good.
Dude, there was enough. I love Ken Watanabe. Like there was enough him in it. There should have been more him in there for me. But Ryan as Pikachu, yes, was absolutely epic.
Wonderful.
So I mean, in the game series, I mean, because it's what it's based off of. I mean, it's been started. I mean, it was started on the Game Boy, moved from the Game Boy to the Game Boy Advance, the Game Boy Advance to the DS. Well, nope, hold on. Forgot the 64 and the GameCube with the brilliant Pokemon Stadium games. Those were just absolutely genius. I loved it, especially it's like, I can bring my Pokemon from my Game Boy to my 64. That's awesome. Like I get to see this in 3D and color. It's absolutely epic. The move from the DSs to the 3DSs, and we've got Pokemon games on the Wii and the Wii U, the Switch. It's massive. It's one of the biggest franchises in the world.
And Pokemon Go on the phone now.
Oh yeah, dude.
When that came out, like
it's still the number one game on mobile. It's the number one mobile game there is. And, I mean, that's huge. I mean, I would love to see what the numbers of what this company is worth or making, because it's just ridiculous. And of course, the idea all spins off of the characters live in the world of these little side by side with these fictional creatures that they call Pokemon. And you've got different types of them. When they first came out, what was it? It was you had fire, water, grass, ground, fighting, and psychic and electric. Right?
Yeah,
that was the 7. Yeah, I think that's all of them.
Yeah.
And then of course now as the next ones come out, like Crystal and then Diamond and Pearl, you started getting like the Dark and then Ghost types,
Rock and all that. Yeah.
So I mean they just continue to build all these, and each Pokemon's cool because you've got the big guys that are most famous: Pikachu, Charizard, Blastoise, and they're equivalent to their types. Blastoise is a turtle; he's a water type. Charizard's a dragon, fire type. Pikachu's a rat, and we somehow get electric out of that, but whatever.
Yeah, that one.
Don't know what happened there. So, but it was really cool because as they continue to go on there, then it started developing the multi-types, which was really, really, really sweet.
Oh yeah.
The game is absolutely huge. I just saw the numbers. As far as Pokemon Go, I think it was over 1 billion mobile downloads.
Gosh.
Is what it hit. Yeah. The top, of course, actually, I know it was at one point the card game was the top selling trading card game of all time with over 27.2 billion cards sold. That's a lot of cards. That's ridiculous. So I mean, the franchise has been around, and it's not slowing down.
Oh, not at all
whatsoever. No. And you had some really cool offshoot games too, like the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. I don't know if you played that.
Yeah.
My favorite one, honestly, was Pokemon Conquest. Did you ever play that one?
Don't think I did.
Oh man, it's like if you could imagine Final Fantasy Tactics as a Pokemon game, that was it.
That's cool.
Like you controlled armies of Pokemon.
That's cool.
It was all turn based, and it was an RPG, like full on RPG. Because the games are technically RPGs, anyways.
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, full on RPG, Final Fantasy style on the DS, dude. It was like that. That was the whole reason I bought my first DS was for Pokemon Conquest. I didn't care about any other game. I was like, this looks like Final Fantasy Tactics meets Pokemon, dude. I'm gonna lose my mind. But I mean, it's huge. I mean, you got Pokemon Monopoly board games, and they're fixing to come out with a new one. Sword and
I
Shield.
already have it pre-ordered.
Do you really, dude?
Oh, yeah.
I still need to play Sun and Moon. I haven't played those yet. Mainly because if I want to play the 3DS, I need to borrow one of my sons. Like, hey, give me your 3DS. I need to go play this Pokemon game. Let me play it. No, it's mine. But I mean, for me, man, it is a huge franchise, but for me, it's nostalgic at the same time. Because I know when you started into it, because obviously I'm, unfortunately a lot older than you. I was around and in middle school when this came out.
Yeah.
So when it first happened. So for me, it was big because I remember sneaking my Game Boy to school and then after school with all my buddies, and man, we would be playing Pokemon, and like there was nothing else to do because it was like this was it. This was world at the time was Pokemon, and then when the card games hit, man, like we were trading cards, and that was the first time we experienced that of like, okay, man, I'm gonna go to the store, buy some booster packs. I need this card out of the 9 I got. I'm gonna go trade these other ones, And the hunt really for Pokemon kind of became real to us. It's like we need to hunt these Pokemon cards because they're real life Pokemon
Big
to
time.
us.
Yeah.
But so for me, it's nostalgic going back to my childhood. Of the time spent with my friends, especially playing these games. For you, roundabout when did you get into it? Where were we at Pokemon era wise?
Yeah, I was in 4th grade when I got into it. So that was probably 2009, 2007, 2008, somewhere in that area.
Okay, so you were in like, what would it be like? Was that Heart Gold?
Probably.
Soul Silver
somewhere in
time
that
frame?
Yeah.
Around there? Dude, those were great. Like those first
fantastic
DS games.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Dude, I mean, like blew my mind when those
Absolutely.
first came out. I absolutely love those. Sorry, go ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
you're fine. I actually started with Pokemon with the cards. That's actually how I met some of the friends that I had all the way up through senior year was, at lunch, sitting down with these kids who were just sitting in a circle playing a card game. I'm like, what's that? And then, I ended up trading, I think, a pack of gummies for like my first 3 or 4 Pokemon cards ever.
Oh, nice.
Dude, it was awesome. And that's where it started. I think my very first card was a Turtwig. No. It was a Chikorita.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Turtwig wasn't around yet. And I remember I always hated it because it had like horrible moves. But I eventually got to where I have who is my favorite Pokemon now, Dragonite.
Dragonite's awesome.
Dragonite's
He is awesome.
Dude, he's awesome.
I'm Mewtwo all the way. Like, I always have.
All right. Okay. Well, I ask everybody who plays Pokemon, top 5 favorite Pokemon.
Top 5 Pokemon would be Mewtwo's number 1.
Okay.
Charizard's number 2. Now, I'm old school, dude. Like,
Me too. No,
first
me too.
generation.
Yeah.
So Mewtwo, Charizard, Raichu. I actually prefer Raichu over that. Then I would go Sandshrew and Machamp.
Okay.
Like, to me, that's a really deadly team that I could use. Now, to be honest, once we hit the DS era, which it was, I was right. It was the Heart Gold, Soul Silver was 2009, which was just the remake of Gold and Silver from the Advance. Yeah. When I got done playing the first Pokemon Red, and then I played Fire Red for and then Ruby and stuff, we end up being able to, because of the multiplayer capabilities on Game Boy, and then be able to transfer your Pokemon to Game Boy Advance. And then eventually you were able to transfer your Pokemon from Game Boy Advance to Nintendo DS, okay, with the DS Lights. Because you could put you'd have to, it was kind of difficult because you'd have to transfer your Pokemon games from Game Boy to Game Boy Advance, okay? And then when you got them to Game Boy Advance, you'd have to transfer them over to a newer game. So you'd get them through Fire Red was the easiest way, and then trade with somebody to Ruby and let them trade you back to your Ruby. But then trade up to the next, get into the DS Lite, and then trade them. When you have the DS Lights, you can get Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and then trade like your advanced Pokemon through the DS games, the catalog. So I mean, it took some work to get there, but you can get those originals on Heart Gold and Soul Silver. And dude, I worked hard. This is what I ended up doing. By the time I was done, this took months of work.
I feel like I know what you're gonna say.
And I did this all by myself because I had my own Advance and my own DS Lite and stuff. By the time it was all said and done, and I started playing my friends in battles on Heart Gold and Soul Silver, I wasn't allowed to play anymore because I had my team of 5 was all Mewtwo's.
Oh my gosh!
There was nothing else but Mewtwo's, all level 100, and my main Mewtwo, my main Mewtwo had like Thunder, and then Fire Blast and Hydro Pulse or Hydro Pump.
Yeah.
So it had all the main type, most powerful ones, and Blizzard. But then each other Mewtwo was specific to a type. So like one Mewtwo was pure electric moves, one was pure fire moves. You know what I mean? So I had an army of Mewtwo's that was just, it was impossible to beat. And like so all my friends were like, "We're not playing you no more, dude. Like get another team." But I worked hard and it felt so good.
Oh yeah,
like to have an army of Mewtwo's, I'm like, I am the greatest. So I got into it pretty big. I love Pokemon.
See, my 5 would obviously Dragonite number 1, and then Gengar was always one of my favorites. Ghost Poison, like
Gengar was really
the only thing you had to worry about was a Snorlax, and you're fine.
yeah.
And then Mewtwo, and then actually Gyarados.
Gyarados was really cool.
I always liked him.
I always had a problem with him because it took so long to get.
It did, but once you did, you were rewarded with like this insanely cool Pokemon. I really liked him. And then lastly would actually be oh crap, what's his name? I'm so mad right now. Oh, Venusaur.
Venusaur. Oh yeah.
Just for grass. Yeah.
I love the legendaries, and that was cool too. The thing too about the legendaries was for each generation how they kind of kept it ultimately the same until you get to Diamond and Pearl.
Yeah.
Because you had the fire, electric, water type. You know, there was the birds. So you had Moltres and Articuno and Zapdos, which they were awesome.
Oh yeah.
But then you need to have the dogs, Raikou.
They sucked. They were awful.
Didn't like those. Then you need to get like Groudon and then
Kyogre.
Kyogre, like those were awesome.
Rayquaza.
Rayquaza is
shiny Rayquaza is the most beautiful thing.
I really loved Dialga on the Diamond Pearl because it was Dialga and Palkia.
Yeah.
But Dialga, the time one, dude, he was the bomb,
He was the man. Yeah.
He's probably my favorite legendary because I can't think of one I would just be like. Because I mean, if I had Dialga, I'd just throw him in there and be like, take him out.
Yeah, he can't do anything. Yeah.
Maybe was it Arceus?
Arceus, the god of Pokemon.
Yeah. So I mean, he could take out Dialga, but if you don't include him,
he's not the most powerful Pokemon though.
No.
Mewtwo. All the way.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Man-made, yes. No.
Yeah, Mewtwo is the most powerful because there's nothing he can't learn.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he can learn everything and do. I mean, he's
Mega Evolved Mewtwo is one of
dude, it's awesome.
the stupidest thing.
And man, oh yeah, especially like when I played Pokemon cards, like I had a Mewtwo deck.
Oh yeah.
I mean, why wouldn't I? Because it's the greatest deck to have.
Oh crap! I totally forgot. Lucario was also one that I used too.
Oh, Lucario was pretty sweet. He was really cool. I was a fan of Blaziken too. Like
Blaziken
firefighting was really sweet.
Same for Infernape. He was also good.
Infernape was awesome. I did like him.
His
so many
speed
cool.
was insane.
And it's so big that I mean you've got to, if you look on especially mobile gaming right now, so many knockoffs.
Oh yeah.
Of people that's
have you seen the new mobile game they're coming out with?
For Pokemon? I have not seen it yet.
It's pre-order right now. It's coming out August 29th. And it's RPG for your phone to play.
Oh dude, yeah, I'm totally in for that because I love the RPG games, you know, so it's awesome. It's so huge. I mean, because with the Switch is fixing to get, or did just get, was it the Let's Go Pikachu and
They've
Let's
had
Go
that
Eevee?
for
right?
a year now.
A year now? A year out? Okay. So I need to get a Switch. I'm very behind on it now.
Yes, you do.
I have such a hard time getting past the old game. I love the old school gaming. So I mean, you had those just come out, but then you're also fixing to get again Sword and Shield, which I think is going to be awesome because Sword and Shield's the first. I want to say traditional style Pokemon game for a console, which I think is great.
That's gonna be wonderful. Yeah, I'm so excited.
Yeah, I really need to go get
the starters. Look great. They look fantastic. It's I don't remember all the names, but I know I'm starting with Grookey. It's a grass monkey.
Grass monkey
turns into a gorilla.
Dude, I've always I've always started with the fire Pokemon. Always.
They're always a safe bet.
Yeah.
But I always start with grass for some reason.
I don't know that I've ever started with a grass Pokemon.
Dude, Venusaur was always awesome. And then going to, I hated Chikorita. I always picked Totodile.
Oh, no, I take it back. I did play that once through with Totodile because I had to have
Froggator.
Yes, Froggator. It was bad. It was the closest thing to Godzilla I could find in the game. So I was like, I gotta have this one, you know. But I mean, it's been around. It's huge. I mean, they got music collections. I mean, of course, knockoff games. But even to the point to where the Pokemon characters they make guest appearances. You know you're big when you're making guest appearances in other games or movies. I mean, you look at Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
I mean, Pikachu's been huge.
What? There's Pikachu, Pichu, Pokemon Trainer, Mewtwo, Lucario, and Incineroar, as well as Greninja, all in the new Smash Bros. Game.
Yeah, dude, that's absolutely awesome.
And that's like, 8 of 50 fighters.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane.
Right, that's a good chunk to come from just one game series, too. I mean, it's been around, like I said, 24 years, man, and this thing, it's not slowing down, especially when you've got a new movie, you've got Pokemon Go coming out, and a new mobile game coming out. I mean, it's a massive franchise, and it's a franchise that, even if you don't know what it is, you know who Pikachu is.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, no matter where you go.
It's like that Mario staple or Godzilla staple. You may not have seen any movies or played any games, but you know who they are.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Pokemon has risen to that
legendary
level,
status.
Of pop culture icon, like Godzilla, like Mario, like
Master
James
Chief.
Bond. Yeah. Well, I actually would put Pokemon above.
Oh, definitely.
Halo.
Yeah.
I mean, even like Zelda. You know, I mean, Zelda's still huge, but it's not as big as it used to be. You know, I mean, Pokemon's far beyond that at that point. I mean, they are. I mean, like we were talking earlier, it's like, man, in its current state at the moment, I mean, Pokemon is bigger than Mario, I think. I mean, especially when you go to comic books and all the different things you've got for it.
When you look at Japan now, and like everywhere you go, like I watched the video. Everywhere you go, somebody's on their phone playing Pokemon Go.
Oh yeah,
It's
which
insane.
was such a genius idea. That game,
brilliant.
unbelievably genius idea. So I mean, it's super super cool, and you can't go wrong. There's some games that I felt were kind of like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. I thought was kind of lame, but I like the fact that for a franchise that's gone 7 generations now, to have the pretty much at the heart the same core concept of a game idea, but made it fresh every time and enjoyable every time from the Game Boy to
not
now.
Enjoyable every time. There's some frustrations here and there.
Well, I mean, like as far as an overall game, you know what I mean? Like definitely, there's some frustrations. I remember the first time trying to go after Mewtwo in the first one. Oh, dude,
sucked.
Or when when you first get a chance to fight Zapdos at the Electric Tower.
Awful.
Oh man, I remember like I couldn't kill him. Then I finally killed him and didn't catch him. Hated life. Started back over.
Lugia.
Oh man, it was such a good series though. But
it's wonderful,
man. I mean, it's awesome too. I mean, it's I can't wait to see what they do with it. I do need to play I need to at least play Sun or Moon before I jump into Moon. I need to get a hold of a copy of Moon before, because we're going to get a Switch for Christmas probably, and then get Pokemon and a couple other games for it. Diablo 3 because I'm going to have it on every system because why not? I would love to take Diablo 3.
Zelda too.
Oh yes. Man, I was playing Zelda Ocarina of Time the other night.
Of course you were.
Oh, man, it's such a good game. So many good games. So, anything else you want to add for Pokemon?
Nah, man. Nah, it's wonderful.
So, takeaway from this, you guys listening. So, if you haven't played Pokemon, you've been living in the cave. Yeah, and you need to play it because it's a great game series. It really is. I know a lot of people see it as a kid's series, but I mean, it's super enjoyable for all ages.
Yeah.
It really, really is.
Oh, yeah.
So, all right, but that's for Pokemon. What we're going to do now is we're going to jump into our song real quick, and this is super, super cool song. This is a super amazing song. Everyone around me personally knows I am unbelievably stoked for the new As I Lay Dying record.
Yeah.
Because I was a huge fan before all the terrible things that happened with Tim Lebesis. But Tim is back, and he has just got the ultimate redemption story and testimony at this point with what's happened and where the band's at this point. And it's just super cool. I mean, because what happened to Tim goes to prison and comes back out. I mean, and his life's just been changed, and he's gone and apologized to everybody, and he's making amends the best. I mean, he's had to humble himself to nothing.
Oh yeah.
And what I'm so excited about this record is everything they've released so far really is his testimony coming out vocally.
Big time.
And the music is the best music I've heard from these dudes since Frail Words Collapse, which was my favorite As I Lay Dying record. But they just released the title track, which is the new single called Shaped by Fire. And dude, this song is super intense. I actually let your dad listen to it Sunday. Yeah. And I was like, I was in my mind thinking like, Jason's going to hate this because it's all screaming. But he made a comment. He's like, man, I actually like that singing guy's voice. I was like, dude, these things are awesome. So it's for tonight's song. It's going to be As I Lay Dying's newest single. It's called Shaped by Fire. Here it is. Check it out.
Formations to refine themselves. With the
are back, and that song's epic, purely epic. Buy the record when it gets out. Enough said. I cannot wait. Like, I'm stoked about the new Wage War album. I'm pumped about the new Disciple record.
Wonderful.
But dude, I am itching. I'm biting at the bit for the new As Lay Dying. I cannot wait for this CD. Okay, so before we jump into the next topic, Mortal Kombat, we forgot the most important news thing in the world. It hit the news yesterday that Kevin Smith is executive producing a series for Netflix, and it is a true sequel to none other than the original He-Man and the Masters of the Universe 1988 cartoon.
It's about time.
Dude, I'm so stoked. So I was so pumped, and Sarah was like, well, I mean, it's cool because it's Kevin, and you know you love He-Man, but what's so exciting? I'm like, there was never an actual ending to that show. You know what I mean? Like, it just kind of stopped.
Yeah.
And so, which I'm so stoked, and the fact that we're having a direct sequel to He-Man from a guy who is a massive He-Man fan.
Kevin Smith, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, nobody's going to do this wrong. I mean, like, he's going to do it better than anybody.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I'm so stoked. Because they've been trying to get Masters of the Universe, the movie, off the ground, and it's going to happen. It's just taking longer than I want. So
what's it projected, 2020 now?
2020 now, yeah. So I'm super pumped that Kevin Smith and Netflix and the crew behind the Castlevania series, which, did you watch any of those yet?
No.
Or seen those? Man, of course, I'm a big fan of the game franchise.
Right.
But the animated series that Netflix has done for Castlevania was truly epic.
Okay.
Absolutely epic.
All
so
right.
knowing that team that did it is behind Kevin doing He-Man the Masters Universe.
Right.
Oh, man, my inner child is about to explode. I'm so excited. So, all right. So we had to get that out because we forgot about it. We were talking about it, while the song was playing. But going on to the next topic, Mortal Kombat. Dude. So, obviously, we're in a video game night tonight for sure.
Oh,
with
yeah.
Pokemon. I remember when Mortal Kombat came out to arcades in 1992.
Sneaking out the back door.
Dude, like, when it came out, of course, now, at first it was cool. Because,
yeah.
like, parents, my mom didn't know what was going on. Like, I want to play this awesome fighting game. Because all you had before then was, like, Street Fighter or, Samurai Showdown or something like that.
Yeah.
But when Mortal Kombat hit the scene with the first actual... I mean, it was the first real... to my knowledge, motion capture that you really saw as realistic as possible.
Yeah.
But then you had buckets and buckets and buckets of blood, and that you did not have that before.
No.
Except for maybe in Nintendo's Narc game that came out, and you blew up all these drug dealers and blood was all over the screen, block pixelated blood. But so when Mortal Kombat came out, man, as a kid, all of us boys, man, we were climbing through the arcade windows to play Mortal Kombat, man, to play these characters that were in this tournament to decide the fate of Earthrealm was just genius. And the characters were great. Raiden and Sub-Zero and Scorpion and Liu Kang and Johnny Cage. Like, these dudes were awesome. Now, Scorpion was my boy. That's who I played
he's your
the most.
favorite?
Oh, yeah. Always
Okay.
has been.
Well,
Raiden's my second favorite.
Sub-Zero is my favorite. So.
Oh, dude, okay. It's on. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
That's bitter
yeah.
rivalry right there.
Let's do it.
So when it came out, man, it was huge. Obviously, because over-the-top violence, and the blood was something no one had ever seen.
Right.
And in our society, that's going to be a big seller.
Yeah.
That's just unfortunately as this. But now I remember when this came out, man, I got like several weeks of good gameplay coming in on this, at the arcade, because we had an arcade at our mall in near where I lived as a teenager. And as a kid, middle school at this time. But man, when it came out, the home video game releases is when my mom really kind of found out about it. So for like the Genesis and Super Nintendo, I got the Genesis version because it was bloody, and the Super Nintendo wasn't. And my mom was like, "What is this game? You're not playing this game." My mom doesn't sound like that, guys. Just so you know, that's not really how she sounds. But so she was very not
not
wouldn't let me
happy.
play it. Thankfully, my dad was the little. I don't want to call him the little devil on his shoulder, but he was a little devil on his shoulder type deal, Mark was. And he worked for Pizza Plus and managed a store in Newport, Tennessee. So I would go every chance I got to that store with him because they had, at this time, Mortal Kombat 3 Ultimate had just came out in my history of Mortal Kombat, And, dude, it had everybody.
Yeah.
Like Cyber Smoke. No, man, I don't know. It'd be a tie between Scorpion and Cyber Smoke. I loved Cyber Smoke, especially when you put the code in and turn it back into the actual Lin Kuei smoke.
Yeah.
And, dude, I would kick everybody's tail as Cyber Smoke. I ruled. So, man, he'd be closing the store, and I'd be over there playing that freaking Mortal Kombat game all nonstop, dude. I loved it. And, it spawned so many games. You had Mortal Kombat 2, Mortal Kombat 3, then the Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 edition. all the way up to where we just got Mortal Kombat 11.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, it's been going for 27 years, so
Yeah.
longer than Pokemon. And so, I mean, multiple game spin-offs. I mean, because you've always had the constant fighting game with this, and it's always evolved and always been better.
Yeah.
But then you get the side games. I mean, you had like the, what was that? The Sub-Zero, what was it? Sub-Zero Chronicles?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you had that one. Then you had all these, the Shaolin Monks game.
Mm-hmm.
So it had some were failures, some were pretty good, just kind of depended. Then you got like they're like, okay, we're best at the fighting games. Let's leave it to the fighting games. Great idea.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Ed Boon and John Tobias, who were hidden characters in the game at one time, but then you actually get Noob Saibot, who is actually Ed Boon and John Tobias's names just backwards.
Yeah.
You know, so then he became a playable character, which was pretty sweet. But then you got them crossing into other games. Obviously, like DC versus Mortal Kombat, which is probably one of the greatest fighting games
big
ever.
time.
Dude, like the moment that I've got to play that and be Scorpion and fight Batman,
That was it.
that's the greatest fight ever. That was the great. I mean, like it's just pure epic, is what it was.
Getting to fight Shao Kahn as Superman, that was awesome.
Oh, dude, yes, man, because you had those two. Because Shao Kahn was a beast.
The man, yeah.
Then, of course, now the game was just so popular that again, comic books has been spun off of this. But you had a movie franchise at one point. The movie came out, and while the first movie was it was fun. I mean, the first movie was fun. Very lighter tone in comparison to the games, to say the least. Much more comic booky than the games.
It's like the
were.
Adam West Batman.
Yes, that's perfect.
Yeah.
That is the perfect description. The Mortal Kombat movie was the Adam West Batman. It really was. And it came out in 95 and was great. Dude, I went to theaters and saw that. Loved it. It's still one of my dad's favorite games, our favorite movies. He loves that movie. And so when we found out Mortal Kombat Annihilation was coming out and they're adding Cyrax and, you know, Reptiles back and all this stuff, because, I mean, Reptiles' depiction in the first movie was not very good. But so we were super stoked. We're like, yes, man, this is going to be so good. And then we went and got supremely disappointed. Like Annihilation,
Medicine of Godzilla 1980.
dude, it was like the worst movie I've ever seen. Godzilla 1998. Second movie by like half a point or whatever. Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Like that movie was pathetically bad, man. There's B movies that I know for a fact are better than this. But I mean, it did go on. Not just from that though. Even though the movie was bad, they actually ended up doing a TV series called Conquest, Mortal Kombat Conquest on TNT. Dude, I was hooked on that. And that was based on, I mean, the only real, Raiden made his appearance, Shang Tsung makes his appearance and stuff, but like the main characters were actually not in the games other than Kung Lao, because this revolved around that character, Liu Kang's ancestor, in the game series. He was the main character, and then you had these other people that helped him. And that was a great series. I actually had that whole series. Loved it. I remember watching it. Where that's went from there to like actually recently in 2010, Kevin Tincherian did an 8-minute short film all by himself called Mortal Kombat Rebirth, and was absolutely epic. Like I remember when it hit that, like that was the first big thing on YouTube where like it broke like so many million views in 24 hours.
Right.
Like it was massive to the point they're like, okay, we need to hire this dude to do a movie or something.
Yeah.
So they end up hiring him to do a movie, what ends up turning into a series of short films that came out on YouTube, and then they released it as Mortal Kombat Legacy, and they did 2 seasons of it, and that was awesome because they did almost like it was a very episodic. So you had one episode that was really about, you know, Liu Kang, one episode about Scorpion, which his was the best. The Raiden one was awesome because like Raiden has to come, and they all kind of tie together because the tournament's about to happen, and they're bringing everybody together for the tournament, and Raiden comes to Earth to find, you know, Liu and the rest of them and Johnny Cage. But of course, you know, he comes to Earth modern day, and he's like, "I'm the god of lightning." Blah blah blah. People are like, "No, you're crazy." And they lock him into a mental hospital. And dude, that episode where he's got to break out of the mental ward was epic. Probably the best thing I've ever seen. It was so cool. So I mean, it did extremely successful to the point to where they're now doing a reboot film. Right. I mean, so we've got one that's expected. It's been tossed around date by date. I actually think the release is now 2021.
March 5th, 2021.
Yes, okay, March 5th, 2021. And they did just announce here recently that they've actually got a lot of the cast now. So now they've got Ludi
5
Lin.
members. Yeah.
It's going to be Liu Kang. Then you've got Brooks, who will play Jackson Briggs.
From
Supergirl. Yeah, so I think it's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah.
What I want to know, though, is, and I hope they don't ruin it, because when they did Jax in Annihilation, it was pretty bad. Like, I hope they make his
You
arms
can get real cheesy with Jax real quick.
very quickly. So, but I'm excited that McCod.
I think
Brooks
it'll be good.
It'll be sweet. Then, of course, you've got a newer actress, Sissy Stringer. I've not seen her in anything. The picture of her, I'm like, she totally could pull this off probably. She's playing Melina, who's the evil clone of Katana. So obviously we know we're going to get Katana. Then you got Tadanobu Asano, who's going to play Raiden. Most people may not know who Asano is. I do. This dude was in Takashi Miike's movie Ichi the Killer. Okay, Ichi the Killer has gone down as the most violent film of all time.
Really?
It's pretty much about the Yakuza and an assassin going to war together. Like, a lot of Takashi's films are very over the top, and I don't recommend them for the general audience. Okay,
So you're kind of feeling like a Judge Dredd, like with Carl Urban.
Judge Dredd, Carl Urban, that movie would be like a PG-13 Disney film.
Wow.
Compared to Ichi the Killer. Okay, like
Okay.
it's insane. Absolutely. I mean, it's got a great story, and
Right,
actually
right.
his stuff's really good, but he goes over the top on everything he does. Well, Asano actually plays Ichi in that movie. And so, like, him as Raiden, to me, perfect match. Because I've
Okay.
seen how crazy he can get. His martial arts skills are absolutely insane.
Right.
And, of course, you know, Ichi the Killer came out, like, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So, I mean, his age is fit for Raiden, and he looks really cool for the role. So, he's who I'm most excited about.
Okay.
Because he is, and he's been in other stuff, too, but to me, he's perfect fit.
Right.
I'm so stoked for him being Raiden. Then you've also got Joe Taslim is going to be Sub-Zero. He was cast. And the movie is actually going to be directed by Simon McQuoid from a script from Greg Russo.
Yeah.
And who's better to do anything other than the Russo brothers? Because right now they're absolutely killing it.
Dude, yeah.
So, I mean, it's going to be, it's going to be called Mortal Kombat. The one cool thing that I'm excited about is because they've never done it in the film or any of the shows, is they has announced there will be fatalities.
Yeah.
You will see the fatality moves and the finishers.
Leave your kids at home for this one.
Yeah, probably going to happen. You know what I mean? So it's just a huge franchise. I mean, so the video games. I don't mean how many video games have they put out?
Gosh.
I mean, let's see if I can look here. Video games. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yes, people, I'm counting off a list. Give me a moment. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 official released Mortal Kombat titles. That's impressive.
Yeah.
From 1992 to this year, 24. One of the cool things I liked about the Mortal Kombat series, especially as of the recent generation, is the add-on characters, which was cool. Dude, when I got to play Freddy Krueger in a Mortal Kombat game, I was like, bring it on.
The Predator.
Oh,
Mortal Kombat X.
Oh, dude, that was absolutely awesome. Because, I mean, it was cool to take the Predator on against anybody, but when they released the Alien DLC, you finally get to have like a modern, because you had Alien vs. Predator for Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
But putting it in the Mortal Kombat engine, dude, I was reliving Alien vs. Predator Requiem at that point. So super, super awesome. So you get all these cool characters. They have announced Spawn's going to be in the new Mortal Kombat 11. So, I mean, getting all these guest characters from other franchises to jump in on this game was absolutely genius. I mean, I think they definitely got that idea from the Mortal Kombat versus DC universe, because it was great to see these titular characters from this extremely successful fighting series, the most successful fighting game series in history, to take on others like superheroes and characters that fit in this normal genre. Yeah. Dude, it's just genius. I mean, and it's just continuing to grow. So, I mean, and plus you got that awesome song. Mortal Kombat song was just absolutely epic. But again, and you got the comic books. I mean, the television series that came out. What was that? They actually had a cartoon series too, because you had the Conquest Live Defenders of the Realm. Yeah, that's what it was. Defenders of the Realm. So you had that for a while. Then of course, like I said, the newer Legacy stuff was really cool. I mean, it's an insanely good series. My experience with Mortal Kombat has just been nothing but,
joy and spines.
Oh, full of testosterone, joy, and spines is what this is. I mean, it really feeds to, because I mean, it's difficult. You really kind of get into that whole thing of does violent video games cause X, Y, and Z to happen? Okay,
No.
I think no, it doesn't. Okay, I mean I just
playing Mario Kart at age 8 isn't going to make you want to. We're not going to get into. Let's not.
Yeah, we're not going to get into that because that's just a whole other thing. But there is something about just especially for the male audience.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that almost primal testosterone.
Yeah.
I mean, we're the hunter-gatherers.
Mm-hmm.
The way we were designed as men to be protectors, the defenders of our family. So, I mean, that testosterone side of us for these games is
And
like,
you pick someone up and rip them in half. Feels
I know,
awesome.
it's like, oh, I am all that is man. Because you don't really want to do that to somebody,
no,
you know what I
no,
mean? But
no.
it's like, I got to get it out somehow. Let's get this rage going, And so that's what those games are there for, man, is just to release that and to have fun and to push a million buttons and break your fingers.
Absolutely.
So I mean I love those games, man. They're so much fun.
Yeah.
I've not, like I said, I've not played a bad one other than Special Forces. I think that's the one thing on Special Forces, because Mythologies, the Sub-Zero one for 64, wasn't bad. It was good, but it was dead. Special Forces was the one I remember. I absolutely hated that game. I never even finished that one. That one was pretty bad. Shaolin and the Monks was pretty good too. But I mean, so for me, it's just, I mean, I've been there since the beginning. I remember the first one coming out and going, dude, I gotta play this. What about you? When did you jump into the Mortal Kombat series?
Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe.
What a great place to start.
Oh yeah,
man.
you know it.
I mean,
You know
introduced.
It's one of my top 10 favorite games of all time. Oh, it's just so good.
That one is. I mean, like having a character like the Joker fighting.
Oh my gosh.
Anybody from the Mortal Kombat series is absolutely awesome. I love that game. I mean, that was genius. And I don't think if it wasn't for that game, I don't think we'd have Injustice. In my opinion, I really don't.
I was always unbeaten on that game when I was using Sub-Zero because he had the most overpowered move set that he's ever had, which was freeze, shoot the block of ice above, drop him down, slide into him, freeze yourself, hit them, and just keep cycling that. Caleb would punch me. Like, he'd get so mad, he'd start throwing fists in real life. I'm like, dude, we're playing a fighting game. Just play the game.
It's just a game. It's just a game. No, it's not. It's real life now. I love it. I mean, have you seen? Oh, you've seen obviously the movies, the original ones.
I've seen the first one.
First one, okay. Don't
I
watch
was
Annihilation.
told not to worry, not to mess with Annihilation.
All you're going to do is just want to stab your eyeballs out, dude. I mean, it's Annihilation was horrible.
Yeah.
The Legacy stuff was really super cool. I mean, that was really cool. Getting like Baraka's was probably my favorite of that.
I love Baraka. He's so cool.
So in the Legacy ones, he's a surgeon that kind of loses his mind and is doing upgrades on himself, and so like he does the whole blades and all this, and he surgically modifies his teeth and all this stuff. Really cool concept, man. And they actually got, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm correct, I think it was T.J. Storm who played Baraka. Who, of course, has been in a lot of martial arts film. He's been Godzilla in the legendary stuff, but he does that Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Right. And
dude's absolutely insane. I got to find out, make sure that was right, because I'm pretty sure it is that he was Baraka. But that was just an awesome episode. And it's really cool because everybody got their own
episode.
Yeah, so I mean, like their own real short film, I guess. You know what I mean? And then you had can't remember his name now. He's in Arrow, plays White Tiger. Michael Jai White, he was Spawn.
Yeah.
He's Jax in those, and he is super cool in those.
All right, yeah, that'll be being watched as soon as I finish Stranger Things. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Baraka was Fraser Aitchison. I swear he looks just like T.J. Storm, though, in my opinion. It had a great big cast. I mean, Casper Van Dien was in it. Michael Jai White was in it. You've got Mark DeCoscos. Oh, that's right. Mark DeCoscos plays Kung Lao. Ooh. And dude's super awesome. He was amazing, by the way, in John Wick 3. I love DeCoscos. Like, he is such a cool actor. So it was a really, really cool show. So, I mean, everybody, character-wise, that made it for the episodes, Baraka, Cyrax, Ermax, Jax, Johnny Cage, Kano, Kenshi, Katana, Stryker, Kung Lao, Liu Kang, Melina, Quan Chi, Sindel, Raiden, Scorpion, Sector, Shang Tsung, Shao Kahn, Sonya, and then, of course, Sub-Zero. Actually, I would take it back. I loved Raiden's, but Scorpions was probably the best.
Right.
Because Scorpions was actually kind of like an origin tale of how he became what he became.
You see, I love Scorpion because you can parallel him so much to Ghost Rider in a way.
You really
like
can,
just
dude.
I got my
really
powers
can.
from the devil himself.
Dude, like it's in the Legacy one, it's before he dies,
right,
and then comes back. So I mean, like it's very. There's a lot of like very emotional parts because his son's there, his wife's there, you know what I mean? And you see him get betrayed and his family murdered and what turns him into Scorpion.
That's awesome.
And dude, that fight between him and Sub-Zero is brutal. I mean, to finally get, because I mean, in the games, they've always had that rivalry, but then to finally see that rivalry come out on film and Legacy was truly epic. Like, that was one of the things I always had a hard time with. Like, with the first Mortal Kombat movie, my biggest beef was Scorpion and Sub-Zero because they're kind of fighting along the same side, which I guess if you go storyline-wise, he didn't know.
Yeah.
But, I mean, like, when we got the movie, we've already been through quite a bit of the story. We know what happens, and it's like, man, those two should be butting heads.
Well, see, I'm a sucker for stuff like that because I love Vegeta and Goku. Like how they start off as villains, but turn as frenemies, I guess, is a good word for them.
Yeah, definitely.
But I love just the turn of like a quote unquote evil character into a good character helping the good guys, and that's why I love Sub-Zero and Scorpion.
I can see that. Yeah, definitely. And so many good characters, so many unique characters, man. And in this series, I love it. I love it. Cannot wait to play 11.
Come over to the house. We'll play. I got it for free.
Oh, that's right, you do. I was like, because I was going to go get it for the PS4, but yeah, you did too. You told me the other day. It's like I got it for free.
We'll do another game day.
Yes, we need to.
The Xbox
so good. So, anything else you want to say about Mortal Kombat other than it's the greatest fighting game ever?
Fighting game ever. Yeah.
I will say this. Okay, now that I think about it, when it comes to the Annihilation film, it's definitely far superior than the Street Fighter film with Jean-Claude Van Damme. Have you ever seen that?
What the only good thing about that is isn't Neil McDonough in there?
No, Neil McDonough was actually in the second Street Fighter film, The Legend of Chun-Li. Right. That's actually a pretty good film. Okay. I'm talking about the original one with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I've never seen that one. I've seen the one with Neil McDonough.
What's his name to play, in Adam's Family? Dang, I can't remember what his name was. He played Bishop, which was just the worst pick ever. I mean, that movie was horrible. I have seen that. So bad. Like,
I hate anything with Jean-Claude Van Damme in it.
Dude, well, now hold on now.
Enter the Dragon.
That's Bruce Lee.
It is? No, what movie am I thinking of?
We got Bloodsport.
Bloodsport. Yeah.
Double Impact with Double Impact was Double Team was a good one.
How did I get Bruce Lee mixed up with that? I'm so dumb.
Totally different. Jean-Claude was actually the original Predator in the film. You know that? Yeah. Jean-Claude Van Damme, interesting character. Had some terrible films. He did have some really bad movies, but he had some ones that were great, man. But, all right, so that was it for Mortal Kombat, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it, man. I mean, Pokemon, huge. Mortal Kombat, huge. We're in a video game mood. We loved it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the song by Azalea Dying. Super, super cool. So one thing we do want to say, of course, now, again, thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. We do want to announce starting next month, of course, we'll be back for our main episode, but we will be running 2 Monster Movie Stomp Downs a month up until the release of Godzilla vs. Kong. Because, and Justin, I think it was Justin McLean, brought to my attention, he was like, hey man, didn't you say you were going to do the Kong films till, leading up to Godzilla vs. Kong? I'm like, yes, I did. And there's 7, and we have 7 months to go, and I didn't want to just do Kong every time, so we're going to add an additional Monster Movie Stomp Down each month, and it's going to be a Kong film. So we'll have a Godzilla Kong, just really building up to it. So next month, look for that, 2 episodes. We'll have Son of Godzilla as the first of the month, and then we'll have our main episode. And then, of course, we'll go into the Kong film, starting with the 1933 King Kong. Yeah. One of the greatest films of all time. Great classic. Head to hip, though, we're not doing Son of Kong, which was I
don't blame you.
That's a direct sequel. My dad was like, why are we not doing that? I'm like, because nobody cares about the white boy. Like he was just it was so bad. I mean, it was made the same year, and he's like half Kong size, and his fur's all white, and he can't fill his dad's shoes. That movie was so bad. We'll talk about it briefly, but I ain't.
That's all it deserves.
Yeah, I ain't gonna sit down and watch Son of Kong again. I ain't watched that since I was like 8. It was like, this is so bad. Like, I've got the British ripoff Konga that was terrible, and thought it was better than Son of Kong. I even have the Korean ripoff Ape, which was actually way more entertaining than most Kong films. Now I think about it. Like I'll talk about in the main episode, but there's a scene where the ape, their Kong, fights a shark. It's supposed to be a giant shark, but it's just a regular shark, and he rips the shark in half.
Okay.
It was a real shark. Yeah. And thankfully they didn't have PETA and all that stuff back then because they could not. But this was a real shark. He rips it. I mean, of course, they killed it before that part of the scene. Right. But yeah, he just like ripped this thing down. I was like, whoa.
That's awesome.
So way more entertaining than some.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so but again, thank you guys so much. Look forward to starting next month. We will get 3 episodes a month leading up to March. And man, if there's stuff you guys want us to talk about,
absolutely,
hit us up on Facebook. Give us a message. Let us know what you want us to discuss. Because I mean, we love talking about anything pop culture. Definitely,
big time.
We try to make sure and keep the topics entertaining and fun to listen to. But definitely, if you want us to hit a certain topic, let us know. We'd love to do it. And hey, you know what? Maybe if you suggest a certain topic, we decide to do it, we may even give you a call and have you be a special guest on the episode.
Yeah, that'd be
fun.
A
blast. We love doing that. So, all right, guys. Thank you again. This is Sludge.
This is Micah.
Y'all have a good night.